Welcome to Onion Trees, everybody.
Can
Hey.
you hear your music?
I don't know, can they?
It's very faint. That might be it. Like, turn it a little bit down. Yeah, we're gonna try something new and just have some music playing in the background.
I'm pretty sure this is royalty free. And Kevin McLeod, if it's not, just let us know and we'll...
Say the name of the track.
It's Onion Capers by Kevin McLeod, and it's a really banging fucking song. I love ragtime. That's ragtime, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
This thing doesn't say second wind anywhere on it, so I don't know what second wind does.
That's from
It's from Fighter.
From a fighter, yeah. Second one is if you were to drop to 1 HP, to 0 HP, you can get back up with 1.
I'm making a D&D character, everybody.
Yeah, and we're going to probably be talking about D&D a little bit, because we are a bunch of nerds.
Oh no, you don't get back up with 1, you roll hit die. And you get that, I think.
Okay. I'm looking it up anyway.
Yeah, just to double check me. I didn't get much sleep last night because I was up fucking reading the Shaddai mangas and digging into that.
I don't want to say this on I don't want to record this. I was going to say something kind of sad.
See,
Not sad, but...
that's why you're low energy, because you were up all night.
Yeah.
Right before you did this, you were like, it feels like it's going to be low energy today, and I was like, that's you.
Yeah. I didn't go to bed
Me
until
too.
like...
Those suck.
I didn't go to bed until like maybe 3:30. And I woke up at like... I woke up at 9, but then I fell back to sleep until 10. Then it took me like 50 minutes to get ready.
I think I'm just going to, like, play it.
Loop it?
Well, no, I already have looped it, but
Okay.
it ends. It's not a loopable song.
Yeah, it just ends.
So I'll cue a different song.
Better be royalty free.
Yeah, most of his stuff is. I'm pretty sure all of his stuff on Spotify is royalty free.
Just turn it up a little. Like not that much.
Motherfucker, you just want me to turn it down a little.
Just a pinch. What'd you say earlier? A scat?
A skosh.
A skosh.
Not a scat. Not a
I
scat.
was going to say scat. With a
It's a
TH.
skosh.
A skosh.
I think it's a British term.
Just a skosh.
Speaking of British, we just
Oh yeah,
this
the new
week
Pokemon got
this week
dropped.
was the new not
Well, it didn't
dropped.
drop, but it got
The
announced.
first Pokemon Direct was this week.
Oops, Pokemon. Just imagine somebody dropping the Pokemon title and being like, oops, Pokemon. Yeah.
I think it looks really good. It's gonna be really fun.
You were so negative.
What?
You were so negative when it came out.
Well, no, he just didn't
No,
like the
was it?
design of Scorbunny.
No.
At first,
It wasn't
it's
even.
grown on
You
me.
just pointed out that it looked like Sonic, but you were like, they didn't show a lot of Pokemon, so it might. They might.
Well,
I
no,
I wasn't negative. I was just worried.
That's a
That's a-
valid concern.
I know, but just being worried about something is a form of negativity,
Oh.
And
at least to me.
like, it's not a completely invalid concern because there have been a couple of gens. I think Gen 6, they didn't release a whole lot of new Pokemon. I think there's maybe like 50.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the numbers. But yeah, they're like the most recent gens haven't had that many new additions.
Because they're running out of fucking ideas.
There is like a shit ton of animals that they haven't done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I have
I'm
Mm.
hoping that there's a couple of like Galarian regional variants. Like with Growlithe, I want it to be a Welsh Pembroke Corgi. Damn it, Geico.
Mute it quick.
I did. I
Okay.
paused it and then I muted it.
Geico's gonna shoot us.
Geico's gonna shoot.
Down on the ground right now. It's just
It's the gecko.
With a gun.
But like the gun's like an actual gun.
It's normal size.
Yeah.
It's huge in his hands. Where the fuck were we talking about?
We were talking about Pokemon and
Oh,
your
yeah.
regional variants.
And then, like, a Loch Ness variant for, like, Lapras,
Yeah.
would be boss. And then, I don't know, like a wild pig sort of thing for something. I don't know what. Maybe just a new wild pig Pokemon, like a boar.
Why?
Because aren't boars a thing in England?
Boars are things everywhere.
Well, yeah, they're like
When I think of England, I don't think of like wild boars.
Well, you're not thinking hard enough. Maybe like a slim sort of fox thing for Vulpix.
Vulpix already had a regional variant. They're not gonna make a new one.
Oh yeah.
I think it would be cool to have like an animal that mimics the Royal Guard's hat. The furry little hat thing.
I believe they're the Queen's Grenadier Guards is what they're called. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
I just call them Royal Guards.
I know a tiny bit more than your average American about British customs and traditions, but not much. I know that they wear those hats because they kicked Napoleon's ass at Waterloo, and the regiment that like broke Napoleon's lines started wearing those hats to kind of like shame the French regiments.
That's a weird, like, tall.
Because the French regiments would wear those hats.
Oh.
Yeah, and so like, I guess
Fucking
they took the hats.
The French in quote unquote fashion.
What's that?
The French in their quote unquote fashion.
Yeah, the French are weird.
I don't see a tall fuzzy hat as fashionable. I just see it as goofy.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't fashion. It was military uniform.
That could also be considered fashion. That's a style of fashion.
I guess.
Fashion is any form of clothing, like that's design and all that shit.
I was gonna say, are you trying to tell me that only the French deal with fashion?
No, it's just their brand of fashion is weird.
It was getting louder. I'm sorry.
That was a long commercial.
It was. It was like 5 fucking ads in a row. Spotify sucks sometimes. It's a really good music player though.
We're just disclosure. We're not sponsored by any of the
We are
brands.
not sponsored by anybody.
Anything. Yeah.
So if you need someone to shill your shit, we're your guy.
Not gonna be Geico or Spotify now.
No, what? Why?
Because
you said fuck Spotify and fuck Geico.
I didn't, did I?
you just did. You said Spotify is so shitty.
No, I said Spotify sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's a really good music player.
Make that their quote. Spotify
And I didn't.
sucks
Did I
sometimes.
say fuck Geico? We
said
just made fun of.
You said fucking Geico.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cause,
And we made fun of their mascot.
yeah. I wasn't saying
He
fuck
literally said
Geico. I was
he
like
was coming
fucking
with a
Geico. You know what
normal-sized
I
gun.
mean?
If
Fucking
after we
Geico.
air this episode, there's an ad like that, I'm gonna like he's
It's just him with a gun.
yeah,
With a huge.
like
fucking
he's
gun.
in a gun range or something.
I can't imagine they
I'd
would
be
do that.
scared.
I can't imagine they would ever fucking do that.
Yeah, it might be a little too political.
Well, it wouldn't even be. You don't, like, besides the political thing, it's just they would be showing guns in a Geico ad. They don't want to show guns in Geico ads.
Is
I
that
don't
a,
understand why. 'Cause
is
guns
that
are
a statement that they've made?
Cool. No, I'm assuming they don't want to show guns in a Geico ad, or like the networks don't want to run an ad with guns in
yeah.
it. Unless it's for like a pawn shop.
Why? What? Why would there be an ad like
I don't know.
national
Man.
TV for a pawn shop? Maybe like a gun show, like the one that we have in here.
I fucking love guns, dude.
We know.
They're cool. They
You
make
know,
loud shooting noises.
you know what else is really cool? El Shaddai.
Let's talk about El Shaddai, Rip.
I was just making a stupid thing. But yeah, I fucking love that game. And I was looking at trailers for the follow. It's not like a pure sequel, it's a follow-up because it's
It's like El Shaddai Plus.
no, it's like a similar, like it's based in modern day. It reminds me a
Is it
lot
spiritual
of
sequel?
kind of, yeah. It reminds me a lot of Shin Megami Tensei and the Persona series because like you form contracts with these gods and you use them as allies in your fight. And you fight elder gods. Like the bosses that it showed were Haster,
Oh, really? Nyarlathotep?
not Nyarlathotep, but Dagon.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I thought
forgetting.
Dagon was just another name for Cthulhu.
No.
No, it's its own thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Dagon might be Cthulhu's brother.
No, Cthulhu's brother is...
How do you spell it?
Dagon.
You might also get the fucking
Dagon.
You might get the Elder Scrolls fucking
Yeah.
Daedric Prince.
But yeah,
That's why I'm typing in Lovecraft.
Cthulhu is also there. Like, there are 4 guys that you fight for bosses.
I'm gonna read it.
One of the things that you can make a contract with that I saw was fucking Aleister Crowley, so that was funny. This dude is sent on a mission from God to like purge the evil that is within society. It's like, all right, I can get behind that. And some characters from El Shaddai show up. Enoch shows up. Lucifer shows up. Michael shows up, and I forget which one of the fallen angels shows up. But one of the fallen angels shows up. It came out last year, and I didn't even hear about it.
This is a game that's out.
Yes.
Oh, what is it called?
It's called The Lost Child. It's for PS4, PS Vita, and Switch.
Sorry, Xbox players.
Yeah.
It's
Dagon has no relation to Cthulhu.
Really?
None.
okay. It's because
look at Cthulhu's brother. It starts with a K.
because the Xbox isn't popular in Japan, and the Japanese audiences love that art style and that director, so that's why it's only on those consoles.
That's fair, I guess.
Um,
I do know that Cthulhu's brother is
Cathanid. An elder god said to be the brother of Cthulhu,
Yeah.
a member of Cthulhu's race. He helped banish his brother and the great old ones to Earth before binding them. He is the leader of the elder gods who live on the planet Elysia.
he's
Elysia.
supposed to be as good as his brother is evil. So he's the opposite of Cthulhu.
okay. One of the little spirits that you can have fighting with you is actually a Shoggoth. But it's like a really cutesy version. So
Like a maid outfit.
no, it's just like this amorphous white blob thing with a goofy looking face. Yeah. That sounds like the noise it would make. But yeah,
Am I a Shoggoth?
You'll
never know.
I love that artist's work. I have the art book with me right now.
For El Shaddai.
For El Shaddai, yes. I fucking adore that game. It's.
Yeah, we know, Brett.
I was trying
The song is called Fluffin' a Duck, and I love it.
I was trying to dig to see like if there was any talks about a remaster for El Shaddai or something.
What was my background again?
Disowned Noble. Here, I got it pulled up.
No, I was going to put it on mine so I can copy and paste it.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm just gonna stare at this picture.
I looked at it, and the game came out in 2011, but then the company that it was a part of was actually a branch off of
Sorry. Continue your thing. I'm laughing at myself.
Okay.
It was a branch off of the Walt Disney Company of India. The company that put it out was
But the new game by the El Shaddai guy?
no. This is I'm talking about El Shaddai. It was put out by a company called UTV Ignition or Ignition Entertainment. That is it, right? Yeah. And then that company got liquidized and went under. And the the director and lead artist of the game was like, no, yeah, that's mine. I'm buying it. He just bought all the rights for himself in 2013 after it was liquidized. And he owns all the rights now, and he's making new stuff still. So that leads me to believe that he's still willing to work on a project. He owns his own company called...
Oh, God. Oh, I just puked in my mouth a little bit, sorry.
He owns his own company called Crim, C-R-I-M. And he worked with Kadokawa Games to release The Lost
I don't know
Child.
why this song decided to show up, because this is not a dramatic moment at all.
Just let him keep going.
Keep going, I'm sorry.
It was put up by Kadokawa... The Lost Child was put up by Kadokawa Games. So I'm going to keep a fucking close eye on them to see if there's any news about El Shaddai.
I bet you do.
What?
That was not supposed to sound like... No, I was like, yeah, I bet you do.
Okay. Because I... Look...
Because you adore that game. So
I
like,
do. For
it makes
E3...
sense.
My dream thing for E3 this year... It would probably make more sense to be at the Tokyo Game Show for this year. For there to be an announcement about El Shaddai. Like, anything. Anything from that director and art. I'll just fucking eat it up. I love his work. It's amazing. But yeah, we'll eventually do a playthrough of that game. I just want to make sure I can
Play it well.
Yeah, I've played through it 3 times.
Oh, you'd be fine.
There are some collectibles in it. I'm not sure if I want to show this off. I probably will, because they help expand the story and the world building.
And if you think you can 100% it, you should.
That's why I'm saying it's going to be for a while, because I need to practice.
That's fair.
I think I know where my PS3 controller is. The other problem is we need to figure out how to record off PS3s.
Ooh.
So yeah, what about you guys?
Are you sure you're done?
For right now, I might think of more stuff.
Exactamundo.
Unless you want me to go, like, just for this to be the El Shaddai cast.
You could maybe summarize our adventures so far, since we're gonna be.
I was gonna do it at the beginning of the next recording when we start.
Coolio. Never mind. We gotta say anything.
I started following the game director and also his company on Twitter, but I actually just go with Twitter's janky translations because it's all in Japanese. Any information, I'll fucking eat it up. Because there was an announcement he put out on Valentine's Day that was saying he was releasing a novel. I'm not sure if it was just like his previous mangas or a new thing.
Uh-huh.
But it did say there were 10 new somethings in it. And he's also at this time holding like an art show in Kyoto. And I wish I could go.
I don't know. Yeah, that would be fun. Go see an artist that you really like. That's all I got. I really like this picture. Like, it's not just that she's got.
Why are you
But
talking
it's
about a picture on a
I know.
podcast?
But it's a good outfit.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Because I was laughing earlier because I turned to you with the same expression that I was looking at the picture with. Like I didn't change my expression as I turned my head.
You are a gigantic doofus.
I am. I can't fucking help myself. I hate it.
God, I'm trying to find fucking... There it is, God!
You find it?
Discord. Get out of here. I was trying to find great weapon fighting for like the longest goddamn time.
I think it's like if you roll a 1 or a 2 on a damage die, you can re-roll it. But you have to keep that second roll. While using a 2-handed weapon.
Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Another thing with those... I was talking about El Shaddai a lot last night. Another thing we talked about was Dante's Divine Comedy.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
So there's a lot of religious overtones in this podcast episode.
Just a bit. Only insofar as we like religious flavored entertainment.
I'm going to destroy this computer.
Why?
It's not saving my stuff.
That sucks.
It says there's an error.
That's my problem with the form
How big is
fillable.
the fucking file for that?
I don't know.
No, I'm at. How big is the character sheet file?
It was small enough.
What's the maximum file size on Discord?
8.
So it's 8
Megabyte.
under 8 megabytes.
Alright,
Yeah.
I'll just send it to you. Fuck it.
The
I'll just send it to you.
I thought you were gonna like open it up with
internet?
No, the fucking
PDF reader?
Krita.
No.
Because I do that with Photoshop.
Creating text in Krita is...
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's done.
Okay.
Um.
You fucking creep.
Yeah, in high school, I went to a Catholic high school, and I think we've mentioned that before.
If not, we're mentioning it now.
No, because we had that one episode that we talked about religious shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
In high school, I started reading Dante's Divine Comedy, and I got through the Inferno, and I didn't think I started Purgatorio, but apparently I did because my bookmark is still in here. On which number is this? Which canto was I on? I was on canto 2 of the Purgatorio, so I did not get very far. And I want to go back and read it because it was very enjoyable, and I don't remember some of the things, but I really liked what I read. It's a fantastic read, and I have what is known as the authoritative translations. It has, like, after each canto is information about some specific things that might be hard to understand, or some context to give to the situation that Dante was living in. It's done by John Ciardi. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Ciardi.
Or Ciardi.
Ciardi, probably.
Whatever you say that. John Ciardi.
Sorry if we butchered your name if you ever fucking hear this. If you're not, like, dead.
John, these people said your name on a podcast.
They mentioned your translation of the Divine Comedy. I don't know why I said that like that, but whatever.
Me either.
It does a fantastic job at what it's trying to do. And if you ever want to read the Divine Comedy, I highly recommend it. I also just highly recommend you read the Divine Comedy because it's really enjoyable. It gives a good insight onto the human way of thinking, and it's where a lot of the beliefs about the celestial system comes from.
Shit, fuck,
I didn't really
shit,
okay.
fuck, shit, fuck.
Good
It's
thing we
cool.
spoke over
Yeah,
that.
we were talking over it.
Okay, good.
Like the 9 Rings of Hell is from Dante's Divine Comedy. The fact that the thing you brought up with the lowest ring of hell, the 9th ring, is so cold. It's because it's the farthest point away from God's light.
Yeah.
That's a Dantean concept. That's why everything is frozen over. I don't know if the concept of purgatory was invented by Dante, but it was heavily, like, the beliefs about it were taken from Dante. He was a major player. Yeah, he was a major player in the understanding of what it is. I just fucking lost my entire train of thought.
That's cool, dude.
I like how I said I was low energy, but I'm the one that's talking the most right now.
Well, because you got your energy back, because you're talking about fucking
Things that I like.
Dante's Inferno, yeah.
And also El Shaddai.
Yeah.
By the way, I should say the person's name as opposed to just saying the director/artist.
Yeah, what's his name?
Let me try to find it right now.
It's in the back. The interview.
Yeah, it's in the interview. The art book that I have has interviews, and I wish I could read Japanese because I would love to read them. There's
Is
probably
there not an English version of this art book?
No.
That sucks. Do they not know that there's a huge
There
cult
isn't.
following in?
It's cult.
It's very cult. The biggest following is in Japan. Like, it did. What I saw was the reviews for the game did pretty well, but it didn't sell well in America or outside of Japan. So that's why if there is anything like that, that's why it took a while for The Lost Child to have an American release, because they didn't think it would do well in America.
That's unfortunate, because it sounds like a cool game.
Oh, it looks really fun. The director/artist's name is Sawaki Takayasu.
I've heard that name before. Probably when El Shaddai came out.
Maybe. He has fantastic artwork, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's very. It's kind of reminiscent of Final Fantasy.
You're right. It is pretty similar to Yoshitaka Amano. You're right.
It definitely reminds me of like.
It has that like
from like Final Fantasy IV. The what's his name? Cedric.
Cecil.
I got the sad part.
But yeah, that's that artist's name, Yoshitaka Amano.
Yoshitaka Amano. Okay, cool.
Or Yoshitaka. I think it's Yoshitaka. Look it up, please.
Alright.
It's gonna bother me if I say it wrong, because I love that dude's artwork too.
I didn't say I loved it. No. I'm just kidding.
I did. His artwork is really fucking good.
I like it.
But yeah.
It's a little... Because it's so detailed, it's a little hard to follow sometimes, because like with the hair, and it's always flowing. And,
Yeah, I can see that. You could just search Amano, and it'll probably come up.
Yoshitaka Amano, yeah.
Okay, it was Taco. Ta- Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Yoshitaka Amano.
Okay. My brain is rattled right now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm spewing a lot of information though. But yeah, if you ever have an opportunity to pick up El Shaddai, either for it was only released on the 360 and PS3. Sadly, there was no Steam port.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm not sure why. But if you ever have the opportunity, please pick it up and give it a try. It's a fantastic game. You can probably get it for really cheap because.
You think it's maybe reverse compatible with like Xbox One and PS4?
I think I saw something on PlayStation Now that it was available. I don't think it's backwards compatible on Xbox One though. That might be worth looking into. If that is a thing, go for it. Any way you can play this game, play it. It is fantastic.
What if they have to emulate it, Brett? If you have.
Any sales from that game would go probably to no one because that company's dissolved.
Okay, yeah. So just fucking.
I'm not saying emulation is okay, but
if you have to, you have to.
Prioritize getting a physical copy of that game. And if you look into The Lost Child and like what you see, buy it, please. So tell that director that you're interested in stuff like that. It's that old saying: you vote and show interest with what's in your wallet. If you don't buy a thing, you show you're not interested. If you do buy it, you are interested. Which is why I want to buy that game. It came out not even a year ago. It came out in June 20-something, 20th, around the 20th or something like that, 2018. So it's still fairly recent. But even though it is fairly recent, the prices are, like I saw a price at GameStop that's like around the 20s. So it seems really affordable.
I mean, Battleborn's like $5.
That's Battleborn though.
No, it was $5 like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's probably like $1 now. Sorry, Gearbox, I love you, but like, I think because it's not a bad game.
They picked a bad release window.
It was bad timing.
Yeah, because it came out around the same time as Overwatch.
They had. I really liked all the characters. I really don't know what the fuck happened.
You competed against Overwatch.
Yeah. Didn't they?
And then that one, dude. No one cares about battle porn. It was a thing. Like a year and a half ago, he was trying to renew interest in Battleborn. It was like, oh, okay, look at the fucking porn of it. I'm like, no, dude, what the fuck? Don't do that.
He was trying to do like the opposite of what Blizzard was trying to do.
Yeah.
Don't make porn of our characters. And then guy was like, I know how to make everyone interested in Battleborn. And then sales went down.
Even further down.
They were like, stop.
What's the guy's name? Terry Pratchett? Is that his name?
I have no clue.
I'll Google it. I love.
Was
I
it
love Gearbox because
Borderlands?
Borderlands, and also Brothers in Arms is a great series because it combines.
Was that the one with the like thin dude and the big bulky dude with the masks?
That's Army of Two.
That's Army of Two.
Army of Two. They might have done Army of Two. I don't think they did. I think that was an Ubisoft game.
It's no, I don't think it is. It's just that name reminded me of it.
Yeah, no. Brothers in Arms is an excellent series. The gameplay is really fun because it combines first-person shooting with tactical decision-making.
Oh, so like the SOCOM series. Well, SOCOM was third person.
No. Like, it combines... So, because you've got multiple squads. You're like a platoon leader, I believe. And so you can,
okay.
Or at the very least, you've got multiple teams in your squad. So you can be like, hey, I'm a machine gunner. I need you to go over there and fire on that like church tower or whatever. And then while he's doing that, while he's got them pinned, you can maneuver up and take out this that squad that's hiding behind like some hedgerows, while the church tower is like suppressed. And then so while that's happening, and then you can get like your sniper into a good position to take out the guy in the church tower. And it's just really fun. I feel like the third game was a little it was a little more into the action than the previous
Then the
games.
tactics, more actiony than tactic.
Yeah, but it was still great, and there was still plenty of tactical decision making. But also Borderlands is a fantastic series.
I honestly didn't know that they made anything besides Borderlands and
Yeah,
Battleborn.
they made and I do not blame them for this. They made Aliens Colonial Marines, and I don't think it was their fault because there was a lot of.
Oh no, the
modeling.
the alpha stages of that game looked actually pretty decent, but then like
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of like producer meddling.
probably.
What
When did that come out? Like
2015, I think.
no, because
2013.
it was an 360 game. 2015 was like Xbox One territory. Maybe like 2010. What? Oh. Look it up. Oh. Well, fucking say something.
Dude, just pause the recording for a minute.
You could have said that and I would have cut it out.
Fucking pause the recording for a minute because Sam's not here and I gotta go to the bathroom and then cut that out, what I just said.
Alright, well that's going to be an awkward transition because Charles tried to communicate that he had to go to the bathroom by messaging me through Discord as opposed to saying it verbally when I could have just cut it out if it made him uncomfortable.
It's funny. It is!
It is. He's a dork. He doesn't realize that I can cut that shit out.
It's fucking hilarious.
So now there's just going to be an awkward discussion change when we were trying to figure out... Well, I'll just fucking look it up.
What game are you guys talking about?
Aliens Colonial Marines. Because we were talking about Gearbox, and I didn't know like what else Gearbox put out besides Battleborn and Borderlands.
I have no idea when the fuck that came out. I was not paying attention.
Because we were talking about how like it was a lot of meddling, and I was trying to figure out why. So I have a theory about it. No, it did come out in 2013. Okay, so that was... Wasn't that around the time Prometheus came out?
Look at Prometheus. What year did you say Colonial Marines was?
2013.
2013. I don't think so.
2012. So yeah,
Yes, yeah.
that's...
It'd be in development when Prometheus came out.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that there was a lot of nonsense going on. Because that was around the time that Ridley Scott was just losing his mind. Because the dude's old. So, like, he's going through a lot of shit. So it's not surprising to me that, like, he wanted things to be a certain way for that game. And then they didn't end up coming out... Well, I don't even know if he was involved in that production, but it wouldn't surprise me, like, if that was the situation. But yeah, we were saying, like... I said, like, the alpha stages of that game looked so much better than the release stages.
Isn't that why people were confused? Because it looked good at first and then it did bad.
Yeah. I don't know how game companies accomplish that. Like, the same situation happened with Sonic 06. The alpha builds looked pretty good. But then all of a sudden it was just like, nope, here's some garbage that's unpolished and glitchy, and the models don't look... The models are fine, but the story doesn't make sense.
Y'all ready for some hot fucking garbage? Bam! That's pretty much how it works.
Yeah. There were some weird animations, too. And the level design was really bad. It's just not a good game. I think I could say that confidently. Like, usually I'm opinionated with that stuff, but no, it's not good.
I've never been much into the Alien franchise.
I haven't either. I just knew about that because I watched a video talking about its development cycle. Because it's actually kind of an interesting thing to look at. I've never seen an Alien movie. My only experience is seeing that thing talking about the development of Colonial Marines, and also watching a playthrough of Isolation.
I think I watched more Predator stuff than that.
I have no experience with the Predator either.
Well,
This is good. I'll bring that up later. This is a lot of explaining. Well, I could just explain it. What the fuck is going So right now there's a bunch of news in America about that Momo, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the weird creepy face that's telling people to kill themselves, and the person on Twitter, Mr. Creepypasta, put out this thing that just says, "Spoke to Momo. She says she'll leave your kids alone if you just get them vaccinated."
It's kind of stupid.
I feel like we talked about that stupid vaccination bullshit.
Maybe.
If not, like, the whole reasoning behind it is just, there was this one false study that tried to prove that vaccinations caused autism in children, but there have been multiple other studies since then that have disproven that. But some parents are just fucking stupid and only look at the one as opposed to the many that discredit it and believe that. Great, now we're gonna get some comments on this video. They're like, no, you're actually wrong.
People have to watch our stuff before we get that, Brett. And that's a depressing mark for me. We do a thing called the Depress Olympics that I'm trying to get everyone to stop being depressing, so I start keeping track of how many things we say that are depressing per day, and I tally them up at the end of the day.
But even then, like, anti-vaxxers search out shit like that. Like, they just look for, well, I don't even have to put it in the tags. Haha. They will never know. Because they search out shit like that just to show their false knowledge and their misinformation and say, oh no, you're wrong.
I don't understand why you would actually a video in the comment section fully knowing that the video was recorded like weeks ago.
Yeah. Do you know the YouTube channel Grande that just produces memes?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, they're just like, he runs a channel that he only creates memes, but in one of them, it was still like meme-y, but the main message was for people to vaccinate their children. Yeah, like, it was obviously, like, it was informative, but there were also obviously jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this one, like, fucking paragraph of information trying to discredit his information that he put, even though he's actually a doctor too, like, in the description. If you want your children to die early of preventable diseases like polio, sure, don't vaccinate your children. If you want them to live and have a happy, healthy life, fucking vaccinate them. Because that's what it was. It was the sanitization, something in, like, the way it sanitizes, or sterilizes. It sterilizes in the injections that was said to cause autism, but that's no longer used. Like, when this was being investigated by this totally independent source that had no other ulterior motives, they were saying that was in vaccinations, and they no longer use that procedure or have that chemical in vaccinations. So that argument is null and void.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I suck at talking medicine.
Well, let's keep talking. That's actually kind of ironic.
What?
Because your family background.
Yeah. Like, you can say medicine names or disease names at me all you want, but my brain will just return it. Like, you'll be like, ibuprofen. I'll be like, oh, painkiller. But then you'll say Tylenol. I'll be like, that is also a painkiller.
That's fair. We don't have to keep talking about medicine stuff. We can talk about something else.
I don't know what else to talk about.
I thought you were laughing at the fucking noise my straw made.
Let me see. Let me look up some stuff. What? Oh. That was a thing you were talking about with Carlos over Discord. What if octopuses did have fucking human legs? Big, hairy, manly legs.
It's fucking jacked.
That'd be fucking horrible.
It would be. I kind of want to.
I really like that
Like,
this
like-
discussion went from like why you should vaccinate your kids to what if octopuses had very hairy manly legs.
Like, everything is the same except the legs. Like, no tentacles, just muscular man legs that are fucking hairy. It'd be pretty great. It actually wouldn't be great. It would be fucking horrifying.
Just to watch that run across the ocean floor.
Oh, fuck.
Ah, what the fuck is that? And that's when we decide not to explore the ocean any further.
What if there is something like that in the deep ocean?
Like we're out there looking for like cryptids, and the only cryptid we find is just that. Why does he have so many human legs, but he's a squid? This is even scarier than the giant squid.
What if it was a giant squid with human legs?
Fear.
Just fear.
I feel like everyone would just unite in their fear of the giant manly-legged squid.
Yeah.
Like there would
It's
just be,
an
like,
endangered
a UN meeting
species.
about not going into the ocean.
It's an endangered species. We'll be endangered soon, too.
Yeah, when it realizes it can walk on land with those.
This is just a unanimous decision to just, like, hurl ICBMs into the ocean.
No, it's an argument. It's like, if we piss it off, it's gonna get on the land faster. But it's like, we don't kill it now, it's gonna kill all of us. You can do, like, weird fucking hyper kicks and cause, like, earthquakes.
It's the theory about Earth... Not the theory, but the thing about earthquakes being tectonic plates shifting. No, it's just that thing stomping.
It's just it moving.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about when I ranked the 15 protagonists in Final Fantasy?
Sure.
From least liked to most liked.
We can, yeah.
Okay. So number 15 is, I don't know how to say her name. It's Shantoto?
Shantato. That's why I pronounce it.
Fucking
That little gremlin.
the representative for fucking... This is based off the protagonists that appear in Dissidia. But yeah, the weird gremlin thing that represents Final Fantasy 11.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't know who she is. I don't like her. I don't like her rhymes. I don't like her grandma voice. She's scary. She doesn't even have a sword. She just magics the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
Her design is really bad, and... Well, it's not... Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, the species as a whole I don't mind, but her specifically is ugly. And
Like, if it was a person wearing that, it would be just as bad.
Yeah. And also, her rhyming is only in like, English translations. It wasn't a thing in the Japanese version, so I don't know why they decided to make her a rhyme. It was a really weird choice. Yeah, she's not a good character. Next.
Number 14 is Onion Knight from 3.
Onion Knight falls in the same problem as Furion and Warrior of Light, where it's just an amalgamation of the characters.
I know, it's just, I don't... Look, they're fighting like a full-on war, and then there's a small
Just a
child in armor.
Yeah. I like his EX burst, though, where he does the job change.
For the record, this isn't my opinion on Dissidia or, like, their independent games. It's just how I feel about the character themselves.
Yeah. The job change thing is pretty fun, because you could become a ninja or, like, this super mage. I don't know what it is, because I haven't played 3 yet. But it's really interesting. And the way you do it is, like, you scroll through the menu. At least the way you do it in the PSP games, because fuck NT. You scroll through the menus and, like, you choose options to do. And you have to, like, chain spells properly to get the fullest amount out of it. It's actually pretty interesting.
The next one, number 13, and you're gonna kill me, is Cecil.
What's wrong with Cecil?
I don't like his face. I just... So I think Cecil came at a weird time in Final Fantasy where they wanted to give the main character, like, not... They didn't want the main character of their game to just be, like, insert yourself here. They wanted to give him character, and I was watching Pro Jared's review, and Cecil's shit, it's kind of resolved at very early stages, and then later he does one other thing way late in the game.
What are we talking about?
I'm doing a list of my Final Fantasy protagonists from least liked to most liked, and we're on number 3.
Oh, okay. Can you quickly recap the first two?
No.
Shantato from Final Fantasy XI, because she's a gremlin who rhymes, and she also acts like a grandma, and her design's bad.
Okay.
Onion Knight from 3, and it's just because it's a kid who has, like, all the jobs. That's not fair, because I like a character who actually has all the jobs.
It's
a kid that's
it's
supposed
just,
to be the main, like, insert your OC here.
Uh-huh.
And then Cecil, who I know Brett likes from Final Fantasy IV.
Uh-huh.
Is his design or his characters that you don't... Characters
His
that
design... Okay, so him as a Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
Him as a Dark Knight, I'm okay with. His... Yeah, that is a little not to my... the top one is a little not to my tasting.
His paladin version.
Yeah, but I can take it or leave it. I actually like the idea that he goes from Dark Knight to Paladin. That's fine. It's just that his whole arc just gets resolved really fast.
That part of him. Because there's another part that he has to realize, that leads up to the conclusion of the game.
It's the syndrome of liking not the main character over the main character. I like Kain more.
Okay. I would actually argue that Kain is a little bit worse written character than Cecil.
Yeah, I just like those beep people who like hang out in the back and look ominously out. Also, I like his voice because I think his voice actor is Gaara from Naruto.
His design is also really fun.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Sam?
I did a weird movement at Charles.
When I said that... What the fuck was the Final Fantasy artist's name?
Yoshitaka Amano.
That one. When I said that some of his designs were a little, like, loud and there's a lot going on.
Look for Cecil's paladin design. It's a little loud.
He was actually Cecil's paladin design was what I was thinking of.
It's the hair.
It's really that's all it is.
Okay.
It's the hair.
Also, I don't trust that he's like another one that doesn't use a sword. He uses a weird staff thing.
Well, I don't know why he does that. He uses a sword in the game.
I know.
It's weird.
It's just weird to me that.
But that's actually what came to mind when I thought Yoshitaka Amano.
Okay. But yeah, he does like have another character arc.
Did he also do the art for 2?
Yes, he did
some
all
of the designs in 2.
He did all of the games
portraits.
up until 6 and a little bit of 7.
What does he do now?
He has his own projects that he works on. I forget the names of it. I think one of them is like Candy something. I'll have to pull up the thing that I did on it because I did a project for one of the classes on him. Like it was for typography.
Mm-hmm. Was it the article?
It was like an interview, and I have part of that in there where it talks about what he does now.
Oh, that's neat.
You want me to just keep going while you look for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was number 13. Number 12 is Warrior of Light.
Is it for similar reasons?
Sort of and kind of. I actually really do like his design. He's a very pretty man.
He's a beautiful man.
I like his outfit without his helmet more. And then I even do like how Dissidia NT does his young version when he has the red hair.
That's from Duo-Descent.
I know, I said that.
You said it NT.
Fine, Duo-Descent. But I like the one thing I don't like characters who are the peak of hero in my mind. Like it looks like it would pain Warrior of Light to jaywalk. Like he can't do anything. He can't do anything that would have any sort of negative impact on the world.
Even though jaywalking would have literally no impact on the world.
It's a scam from the car companies.
It is.
Anyways, but yeah, it's just he seems like a very because he's in Final Fantasy 1 and he's supposed to be an amalgamation of all the possible characters. He is the Warrior of Light, even though you're playing a party of Warriors of Light.
Yeah.
he has to be an amalgamation character, and he's from Final Fantasy
even though
1.
his class is just knight. And also, I figured something out. The things where he does fire, ice, and lightning attacks aren't him casting spells. That's him using items.
But yeah, he just seems like a super basic thing. That's why.
Okay.
Like, I like his design is great. I as a character, it's like, okay, whatever. I actually like number 11.
I might have deleted my thing, or it's on my USB.
It's
I'm
on
not
your
gonna,
USB. You
yeah.
can pull it up to show me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pull it up right now.
Number 11 is Furion from Final Fantasy 2. And it's mainly because I like the idea that he throws out his weapons and then just picks one. Also, he's shown, even though he has a sword, he's shown as an archer, and I like that too. But his sword to me is like very memorable.
Yeah.
Also, out of the loud designs he was describing, I actually think his is actually kind of more subtle in early Final Fantasy, because he's literally just wearing a bandana, and he has like light armor
And a cape.
Unlike
the Emperor, who's in Dissidia, he's just David Bowie.
He's David Bowie.
He's
ruled the universe.
He's just David Bowie.
He's David Bowie where he should be, ruling the universe.
You mean he's not doing that right now?
Probably is. But yeah.
If we could be heroes.
Though, like, character-wise, again, because they were doing very early, like, they barely touched on character in Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't have much of a character for me to judge. That's why he's really... Would you say low on the list or high on the list? Because he's ranked 11 out of 15.
I would count this as like your dislike. So high on the dislike.
Okay, so he's high on the dislike part of the list. Number 10, Terra. I don't know a lot about her. Well, I like that she's one of... So I know I gave shit to Shanadato because she is a magic user, but I like Terra as a magic user because she seems like she would be a magic user that's capable. Like, she looks like a well-learned magic user.
Who's the magic user?
Terra.
She's from Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah.
And
she's... Actually, a lot of her power comes from her race, like what she is.
Is that why she can turn into that pink Super Saiyan thing? Okay. Also, I think because I know she's not the... Like, the protagonist is, like, kind of
Bless you.
vague when it comes
switches.
to 6. It's just, she's the representative for 6. And
Yeah.
I think she's a good foil to Kefka, who's just, woohoo, I'm gonna cause chaos and destroy the planet! And she's just like, I'm unsure of my abilities.
Yeah.
Like, she's the straight person to fucking Kefka's
wild card.
Shit. Yeah. And, I like how they actually, in cutscenes, I like how her magic is used.
Yeah.
Other magic user in Final Fantasy XIV, number 9, lady with a hard name to say, Y'shtola. It's just in Dissidia, it seems like she just showed up and was like, I'm the big dick mage. I can do fucking anything. Like, I think there's an attack from, like, Ultimisia or somebody, or Cloud of Darkness, that she just, like, protects 3 people from, like... She didn't really flinch to do it.
Yeah, she just did it.
Her hands, yeah, and I was like,
That's
clearly jerking off Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, that's a problem because it's an MMO and like the power scaling in MMOs is fucking stupid.
I like her accent, and she talks in a calm voice, but she's a very optimistic person.
Yeah.
Which, when you think Final Fantasy protagonist,
you don't
the
get
optimism fades.
Yeah. Also, the cat people.
The
I don't
apostrophe people.
Yeah, the cat people are really pretty designs.
Yeah, she's just a very pretty lady. Anyway, speaking of pretty people, Vaughn is number 8. From Final Fantasy 12.
We've activated Charles.
I fucking love Final Fantasy 12. It's my favorite Final Fantasy game. I think
Out of how many have you played?
Final Fantasy 12.
I played 10, and I've played some of 13, but 13's
bad. You can say
13's
13's bad.
I've played most of 4. I don't think I finished 4.
See, like,
did you get Rydia back?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think I like Final Fantasy 12 because it's really not a Final Fantasy game as far as the gameplay is concerned. Like, because it's like the real-time thing, and it's all open world, kinda. Like, the environments are open, and you can just engage combat with any creature.
Final Fantasy became more progressively real-time.
Okay, well,
It's not a traditional Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's not random battle, turn-based, whatever. It's kind of turn-based, but it's definitely not random battle. Because you can definitely avoid combat.
What's the style of combat you're referring to is action-based. Not action-based, but it's action something. I forget the term that they use, but...
And then, I think it's delayed action? No?
It's action is the first word in the phrase.
Okay, well...
Anyways, to me, Vaughn is a very...
I just saw 0.
No, shut up. We'll get to 0 when we get to 0.
We'll get to 0 when we get to 0.
I think... So with Vaughn, he's sort of like... It's not prototype. I think he's like a lower form of the optimistic hero that can take on anything, but also being like a young hero. He does it a little, not worse, but he doesn't do it as much for me as like Titus, or Zidane does. Because like he's cocky, but he has that uncertainty about it that teeters him on the edge of being fucking negative about things. Like, because I noticed in his quotes, if you lose, he blames himself immediately. And I'm like...
Wait, who blames himself?
Vaughn.
Okay.
If you fail something, Vaughn will blame himself.
You're gonna be the... You're not to talk about 12, because I don't know anything about 12.
I don't remember that.
It's not like they stole the quote from 12.
It's just like something he would do.
Would say.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't remember that.
Like him being a defeatist.
I don't remember that.
He's not. No, it's not. He's a defeatist. It's just if his team fails, then he blames himself for the failure.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, when you say it like that, yeah.
I like his design and I like his like pirateness.
He definitely looks like a pirate.
Like he's number 8 out of 15. He's doing all right.
he's mid-range.
He's about in the middle.
Anyways, number 7 is actually have to change. What were you gonna say?
I was going to talk about Final Fantasy 12 some more.
You can.
No, it's fine. We're doing your thing right now.
I'm gonna edit it because it's written weird. Because when I made this list, I didn't even really start 15, but I got into 15. So like this is subject to change as I play. And I've only played Final Fantasy 15, but number 7 is Zidane. Even though it reads differently on my list, this because I wrote this a while ago, but it's Zidane right now. And it's just... He takes the optimistic hero, and he doesn't really seem like anything's wrong.
They take too far with it.
Yeah, like, he seems ignorant of...
Nothing is ever wrong.
Yeah, and it's... I'm least likely to go for a hero that hits on girls than, like, just somebody who's optimistic. Like, that's a step beyond. I'm not saying I hate Zidane. He's a fun character. Zidane, whatever. He's a hard name to say. And I like his, like, back-wielding, like, dual
daggers.
weaponry. Yeah. And I like that he's, like, a circus star. But, like, then when he has to do something
He's a circus monkey.
He gets going.
He's just, like, obnoxiously chipper.
Yeah. He's a goofball, but too much of a goof for my liking.
Yeah, and he only really gets serious when, like, he can tell there's some crazy shit going on, but he always tries to lighten the mood.
Yeah. Number 6 is Lightning from Final Fantasy 15. Or no, 15. 13.
It's okay. It was almost...
Yeah.
So you like Lightning?
Yeah.
She's, like, design-wise, she's not bad. It's just her personality. They didn't do it well in 13, but her personality in Dissidia...
Say that. I'm kidding. Well, I saw a scene, and if you look up YouTube and you look up nice gun scene from 13, where she's, like, tough, but she's being playful with the people trying to arrest her. It's, like, I saw a comment, they're like, this must have been, like, early in development, and no one took it out, because she does not act this way for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, like, that would have been fine.
She's like Cloud in 7, not in Advent Children. She becomes Advent Children Cloud later on.
Yeah. And then she's a fashion icon.
Yeah.
I like how she looks. Like, that's generally the demeanor. And I do like tough. Like, I do like when women are tough and, like, in control of the situation. But, like, there are times when I feel like she's not in control and she's just pretending to be in control. and then she punches Snow because of reasons.
I do that.
I do that. Where was I? Which one did I just say?
6.
I was at 6. Okay, then 5 is Bart's.
Butts.
Bart's.
No, that's his Japanese name.
Butts.
But
I like just like Bart's.
Just
I
like
like
Bart's.
Bart's because he's pretty.
He's fun. Yeah, he also is pretty.
He's pretty.
He's
He's
a-
fun. He's
I don't
he's a
know.
good guy.
He's a
What?
fun little boy.
You made it weird.
I did, yeah, I know.
Anyways, I like Bart's because I like his.
He does the chipper attitude that Zidane does, but correctly.
Yeah. And he does that, but he also does the heroic moniker a little, like, but unique. Like, his optimism and heroic moniker work together to give him a unique character.
Yeah.
And I think if I actually start playing Final Fantasy V, it might be one of my more favorite RPGs, only because of based of how I've been seeing it.
The Game Boy Advance port is decent.
Then I'll look for that. Because I still have my Game Boy Advance. SP. But yeah, that was
It's probably
5.
the better version than
Wow, Bart's is the only person who lands.
it's aligned with his game.
Yeah. Final Fantasy V. He's also ranked number 5. Anyways, number 4 is the T-Man.
Titties.
Yeah, titties. Titus.
Titus.
It's not like they actually made you're supposed to say Titus.
no, I was.
Titus, I thought. But fuck it, Titus.
Final Fantasy
Titus.
X protagonist. Not Final Fantasy X2 protagonist.
Blitzball Man.
Yeah,
No, that's Eject.
I like
Blitzball.
He's like Blitzball. He was a
He played
prodigy.
Blitzball.
Bull.
I like
Blitzball.
his aesthetic, and I like how in Dissidia they changed his like under hoodie to be long enough to be under his overalls, because in 10 it's really short and you
Yeah.
can see the gap in between his like
It's
his
just
hoodie and his
it's-
overalls, and you can see his skin, and I'm like, that seems weird and uncomfortable.
yeah, it's weird.
I also he's not much of a hero like Bart's, but he does do the optimistic attitude, like in a good range to where it's it's clearly there and established, but it's also like not annoying because he has deep moments.
Yeah.
Also, his laugh is the best.
But actually, that scene was meant to not be taken seriously.
I didn't take it seriously.
I know.
No one has.
I totally forgot I had music on.
That's what
I
I
couldn't hear it.
But yeah, I also just like his sword. His sword looks really cool.
Yeah, his sword's fun.
Anyways, these next two are really close because of reasons, and number 1 only beats number 2 with a half a point. Number
In this
2,
arbitrary point system
yeah.
that doesn't exist.
Number 2 is Cloud. Actually, I would say he beat.
Wait.
Number 1 beats Cloud a lot more than half a point.
Xander's number 1. You haven't talked about Noctis.
Yeah,
Oh
he did.
fuck!
7.
No,
No, I didn't.
He
I went over
didn't.
it.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Where's Noctis on this list?
Vaughn was 8. Zidane was 7. Lightning was 6. Bart's was 5. Noctis would be 4.
Okay.
Titus is 3. So the reason why I like Noctis so I started with Final Fantasy X. I just don't remember beating it, so I clearly didn't. That's why Titus is better than Noctis. But I do like Noctis because in a way he kind of does allow the character to kind of project themselves onto Noctis, but he does have enough of his own original character to him.
Mm.
Because like you couldn't be little wee baby Noctis. I mean, you could. There was like a thing you could play, but like
Yeah.
you didn't grow up like he did. But like you'd be like, what would I do in this situation? And then you give it shows you options, and you're like, that's probably the option I would pick. And like he reads each line. I like his power set. I like how he looks. Very Hot Topic, My Chemical Romance, Sasuke-kun.
His hair actually reminds me a lot of Cloud's and Advent Children.
A little bit, because it does get pushed back. But he's not, and it's mainly because of Ignis, Prompto, and Gladio. He's not a fucking edgelord.
Yeah.
Because he has just enough chipper friends to pull him into, like, happy situations.
Yeah.
To where, like, he will be a fucking dork and, like, laugh at shit.
He
until
legitimately
the
loves fishing.
Yeah.
That's, like, it's such an innocuous
first-
character trait, but it's so...
At first, I thought it was stupid that he'd, like, throw swords and, like, have an axe and, like...
It
fucking
just pulls a fucking
spear,
fishing rod
and then
out
he's
of
like, this is also part of my weaponry. And it's just a fucking thing, and he's like, fishing.
And I love that about him. That's like one of my favorite things about Noctis is that he just loves fishing.
Yeah, I like that.
The only
he's a
time
character
he
as a
gets
hobby.
he gets really like sad is during the time jump when he's just isolated.
Well,
Because it makes
also,
sense.
when his spoilers, when his fucking
It's like one
dad
of the
dies.
chapter
it's-
2.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but maybe
Yeah.
someone hasn't played it.
That's not even sadness. That's frustration.
And pure rage.
Frustration.
Also pure rage.
Anyways,
I guess it's not pure.
You
There's
can-
also frustration.
like, you can tell in both the Japanese and the English, like, even if you turned off the sound, you can see it in his character model how pissed he is.
Yeah, you can see the furrow in his brow.
And even after that, he does seem optimistic, even though he looks like he listens to Good Charlotte. That's kind of why I like him. He's like a little goth guy growing up.
He's becoming his own man.
Yeah, he's becoming his own man. He's becoming a king.
Alright, so now
Number
two.
two's Cloud.
There we go.
I liked Cloud's design ever since I was a wee babe.
Cloud's design is just so good.
Yeah.
It's
I like his Advent Children one the most, even though people don't like Advent Children.
well, his Advent Children design is good.
Yeah. Also, I have a
Fuck.
thing for characters who are affiliated with wolves. And, I actually really like his weapon in Advent Children, the fusion sword that can break into other swords. Buster Blade's cool, too, but now I'm no longer affiliated with it being Cloud's sword. It's just Cloud's hand-me-down sword.
Yeah. It's Memento.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I can't say I'm the absolute biggest fan of his character. Because I even pointed out when I was listening to the Dissidia voice lines, his voice actor always sounds bored, regardless
I feel like
of
that's
it.
the direction.
Because even like Lightning and Noctis and Squall, when they're summoning things, they're like fucking Squall says like, "Hurry up and drop lightning bolts on them already." When he's talking, when he's summoning Ramu.
It's weird because like in the PSP games, when you do like meteor rain, he says like stars rain down. Like
Yeah.
he kind of gets into it like that.
It's probably the director, because when Cloud does it, he goes like, "Throw lightning at them." He doesn't say throw lightning at them, but he says whatever, like, board. I think he says, like, spear them with your ice, but it sounds like board. I think I just don't like...
Just spear them with your eyes.
I just don't like Cloud being monotoned and, like, not excited for things.
You want a Cloud that will tell you to mosey.
Yeah, let's mosey. Sephiroth,
What do you want?
But I like his characters and shit. I like how he's like a sickly boy who they tried to fucking make into a super soldier and it didn't work. And he
Cloud?
still,
Yeah.
like, he still ends up defeating, like,
The top tier
an
soldier.
almost godly
Yeah.
person who was also a top tier soldier because his friend was also a top tier soldier. And I was like, yeah, underdog. Also, he's like the perfect mix of edgelord. Because he's edgy, but he's blonde.
He's like almost definitive edgelord.
Yeah. Anyways, I made him in Smash. So number one is Squall.
No, Brett, say whatever the fuck your name is. Now that I know your names.
Whatever. One of them. Number one is Squall, and I guess fucking everybody. Just some people don't like Final Fantasy VIII because it's fucking triple triad or whatever. Fuck, this menu system's confusing. Gunplay doesn't make sense. It does to me, damn it.
Well, no, you guys explained it.
To you.
Well, explain it to them.
Some people. It's not that it doesn't. That the Gunblade shouldn't work. People just think it's a shitty design.
It's not.
And it's laughable.
It's
like,
really
I
fun
looked
design.
up how to make a Gunblade in D&D work, and somebody said, like, somebody put, like, oh, it'll invoke fear in your enemies or something, like, as a flavor text, and then someone corrected it to invoke laughter, because it's a stupid design, and I was like, that's not cool,
It's
man.
not cool. It's a really cool design.
I also...
I enjoy it. I think it looks cool, but for the longest, because I'm a gun nut,
yeah.
and so when I heard why it is like that, because it's supposed to explode and create vibrations along the blade, I'm like, no, that's not going to work. Because the cylinder will explode because there's nowhere for the gases to vent off.
You also have to remember that it's more of a blade than a gun.
No, I get that.
No, I know. I'm just.
But then you guys explained that
it's sending
magic.
fire magic through the blade.
and
it's acting like essentially acting like a giant sharp fucking wand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like the fire temperament just comes out of the front. It's only because we saw that cutscene with Dissidia where he shoots Jecht in the face.
Also, they could have just added some ports to the side of the blade.
And the bullet just runs along the side of the blade. But yeah, I actually like the design of the gun blade.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
that might be because it has a part it's a straight blade, but then
let's Google the gun blade and discuss the design of the gun blade.
It dips a little bit like this.
Yeah.
And I think that might be where it would be.
It's just a super long barrel.
Yeah.
It has a hole there. I thought that too. But he's a mixture of a lot of shit that I like.
He's really handsome. He's got nice clothes.
Yeah. I like his coat. Even no matter the weather, it has fur lining.
Yeah. I'm always comfortable.
Yeah. I like his affiliation with lions. His neon heart.
No,
do you see
really.
the little curve thing that I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, that's just a sword.
No, I'm saying
he's talking to himself, right? Man at Arms is also a good YouTube channel who makes weapons. And
they are a really good YouTube channel. I like them. They made what did they make?
Anyways,
they made. God dang it! Oh, I think they made a chainsword from Warhammer. Or it might have just been a power sword.
But yeah, I like it, because his aesthetic and design just blends in perfectly to me. And then I
super cool.
I like his I like the fact that he's kind of an introvert, and everyone just goes, "Oh, that makes him a edgelord," but he's kind of not. At least in my opinion.
It was also the 90s, and people didn't understand what being an introvert means. Yeah.
He's 17.
Yeah. In his game.
And his best friend Laguna is the chipper one. He's the extrovert that adopts him. I just like that phrase that extroverts adopt introverts.
But because I like how they don't just have him be a silent protagonist. He just has inner monologue, so he does have a lot of fucking lines.
He just doesn't. He doesn't say anything.
And that's one thing that Dissidia does that I thought was funny, because I watched a video and it was when Snow was DLC and you played as Squall and Lightning against Snow, and Lightning recognizes Snow and run towards him, and Leon's just there in his head he's like, who the hell is this guy? And then they're arguing, Snow and Lightning are arguing about something, and Leon just comes up, points his fucking sword at Snow and says, okay, we have a job to do.
One of my favorite things that just shows off Squall's personality in Dissidia is his beginning dialogue for a fight is one of them is just alright, let's get this over with. He doesn't want to fucking be there.
Yeah. And even in his defeat in NT, he will go am I even cut out for he has doubt in himself.
Yeah.
And I know in 8 there's a part where he's no longer just an angsty teen not taking shit seriously. He's asserting command in situations. And there's a part where something's happening to Renoa, and she's in danger or something, but there's a battle going on, and he's I can't leave my comrades, but I don't want to leave Renoa alone. And then his comrades just take control and go no, go, we got this. And he's okay. And I'm that him having that choice and being stuck in that choice shows that he knows he has responsibility, and he wants the responsibility at least a little bit.
He's a very well-rounded character.
Yeah. I don't know. Also, Square just kind of hates Final Fantasy VIII because they refuse to do things with it.
I think they've re-released it on Steam, maybe?
What, 8?
Yeah.
Let me look it up. Or, okay, Sam.
Anyway, Zero is Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
But
that was a joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to give
I like
what
Sora
happens?
as a character because he's a happy chipper boy, but he's also surrounded by Disney characters, so I don't even know why he wouldn't be that way. There's a fucking scene in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII's on...
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Look into that.
Holy shit!
Holy
Yeah.
shit, I might look into that.
13 is $8.
Okay. There's a
7
scene in
is
Kingdom Hearts 2 where Riku is like not in his Ansem form anymore, and he's like, I don't know how I can face everybody. And Sora smushes his face together and goes like this, and like makes a really doofy face, and I'm like, yeah, that's how these two characters act. Because a part of me thinks like the edginess in Kingdom Hearts is Nomura poking fun at like the Final Fantasy
Probably,
franchise,
most likely.
and that's why Sora does stupid shit all the time.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, every Final Fantasy game is on Steam.
Some of the older ones are like the mobile game ports though, and some of those aren't good.
Yeah, Pro Jared totally hates 6's port.
Yeah,
It's
6
an
is
iPhone port.
6 is a bad port. The first time I actually played 4 was on my Android tablet, and that was a good port.
Okay. I think he just said 6 and on, like, he maybe said just 6, but he's like,
I know
6 got a
people.
shitty port.
I know people complained about 9's port.
Pull up now.
But yeah, they're also starting to put a lot of them on the Switch. Like 7's gonna be on the
Remember
Switch.
when we watched the Direct and it was like, what game were they advertising that they were going to put on the Switch? And then they just shoved in another game and said, oh yeah, this one's now
It was
available.
7. They were showing off like because
Oh,
there was
yeah,
a,
they
there
were
was
like,
a there was a
"You want
screenshot
to
that
play
was leaked.
No, just, well, play it on mute. And
Okay.
There was a screenshot that was leaked that like shows someone playing Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, Final Fantasy 9 is
it's
now available
today. And
yeah,
I was like, wow, you guys just fucking short shot that one. Yeah, that looks like the PS1. That doesn't look like a remake.
what?
I can tell by this fucking full motion video.
Oh yeah, 8.
It's not. Oh, I guess, yeah.
Oh yeah, 9.
I thought- Isn't FMV
Live
action?
No.
Oh.
No,
They're the videos that in the game don't reflect gameplay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, 7's port on Steam is just the PS1 version, because I have that.
Yeah. I'm only getting the Final Fantasy games. You're letting me borrow 15.
And I think I've mentioned this, I mentioned this the last podcast. I'm going through Final Fantasy 1. I'm almost done with it, actually. I'm playing the GBA port, and I tried playing the extra dungeons, and fucking hell are those tedious and boring. Like, they're not even challenging. The challenge that I had was fighting a rare encounter in the Earth Gift Shrine, something called the Abyss Worm, which has 2,500 HP and can deal 300 damage in one shot.
Jesus Christ.
So I had a lot of trouble with that. So the encounter rate is really low for them, and you can either fight 1 or 2 of them. Guess how many I had to fight?
4.
2.
Oh, okay.
The only options were 1 or 2.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I fucking started panicking because he took down my monk immediately, and then my red mage, they're now red wizard. My red wizard almost got downed, and then my black wizard almost got downed. I was just like,
What's going on?
yeah, because I've been breezing through that game up until that point, and then I breezed through the rest of that dungeon.
I know I bring up Pro Jared a lot, but I saw his fucking Final Fantasy 1 video. He's like, yeah, sometimes we'll just throw you into like something you're not equipped for.
I actually haven't run into that problem. I guess I might be
You
just
just said you did.
That was one exception.
Exactly. He said they'll randomly throw you into things.
Oh well, yeah, because it was just a random encounter.
You gotta listen. You gotta listen to the words.
Because all the rest of the game has been really easy. I guess I over-leveled myself, and I just never slowed down.
And then you slowed down.
No, because the rest of that dungeon was really easy. It was
They
just that
flipped
one
the script
encounter.
on you, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
It's
What
because
time are we at?
we're like almost 120, nearing 120.
Well, next time, I'll have the villains. I'll have the villains down.
And then next time we'll talk more about the world of Evilise, because I really like that fucking world. Evilise is a really cool setting.
Well, I might talk more about El Shaddai next time. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh wait, in 12? Yeah, that's part
It's
of the
like-
tactics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's also the most fleshed out Final Fantasy.
It is.
Also,
It's one of them,
reason I didn't say Ren or Ramza is because I was only counting numbered games. 'Cause Ramza and Ren are also protagonists.
But what are the bunny people called?
Viera.
The Vera are also really pretty.
And then
Fran is a really pretty lady.
Oh, dude, Fran is bae.
I like her heels. They have like they're
Well, so
they're not
they
like
all wear the stilettos because of their physiology.
Yeah, but they're like not just one heel stilettos. They have like 2 heels.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
it's really cool. I really like Fran's design. She's really pretty, and her armor is really cool.
Armor. Her lingerie. Let's fucking. Her metal lingerie.
Yeah, armored lingerie. It's like in fucking Persona 3, where you get the battle lingerie, where it's just lingerie, but with like some metal pauldrons and a metal collar.
Jesus Christ. And then I like the lizard people, the Bonga.
I don't think I've seen them.
The Bonga.
And then the, what the fuck are the pig people called? Sikhs. SIQ. I think. And then Moogles! Everybody loves Moogles.
Of course, Moogles. What if like
and the Gareth are like bird people?
what if further down the road they make anthropomorphic Moogles?
Just a sexy Moogle?
Yeah!
I'm gonna be afraid if they do.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, okay, Square Enix, what are you doing?
That's the next update for Final Fantasy XIV. Playable Moogles.
Sexy Moogles.
Sexy playable Moogles. Because now they're making male Vieras, and there haven't been any male Vieras.
No.
What do you mean, ew, no?
Because they're supposed to be an all-female race.
Let them be men.
They're man.
Oh, man. No, but like...
Don't worry,
I like that.
the male Vieras will also be really pretty.
Yeah, don't
Like
you worry your
bangable
pretty
pretty?
little head.
I'm pretty too. Thank you.
They're gonna be hot. Everyone's gonna be hot. This game's gonna be sexually charged. Everyone's gonna be hot.
Dude, Final Fantasy XIV is sexually charged.
That's why Yustola has a British accent. Anyways, this has been an uncomfortable ending
Ew,
to
his
an
head's too
episode.
small.
What the fuck is
What?
the problem?
That's not Vieira.
Somebody messed up.
What?
Okay, that's better.
Okay, anyways, I think we should end this episode before we all look at Charles's computer.
Bye, everyone.
Next episode, we expose Charles for the charade he is.
What?
Hack
End the
fraud!
episode.